Dear Litvinova medical patients, this is the first video in the series, and this video is about how to stay healthy during cold and flu season. I'm going to go over basic lifestyle that you can either implement or continue if you already implemented them in the past. I'm going to talk about diet, importance of exercise, and then also a couple of supplements which are good for your immune system. Diet is very important, and it's not even the diet, it's the way of eating. It's important to stay away from processed foods, soda, cut down on sugar, especially processed sugar, and stay away from simple carbs such as white bread, cookies, anything from refined flour, and incorporate into your diet more healthy grains and complex carbohydrates, along with either fresh or frozen fruits and vegetables. Vegetables are very important because they keep your gut healthy, they keep your moods up, and also they rich in nutrients and vitamins, which are important for the immune system. Exercise is also very important, and aerobic exercise, and the recommendations would be 3 to 4 times a week, 20 minutes each time. And there are two criteria for good exercise. It's either getting your heart rate to 180 minus your age or working up sweat. If you don't sweat, it doesn't count. And if you don't exercise these days and you think it'll be difficult for you to start exercising, start with 15 minutes twice a week and do something that you enjoy that brings up sweat, that works up sweat. And 15 minutes twice a week. And once you're comfortable with the schedule, in a few weeks, you can go up to 20 minutes twice a week. And then after a while, just add the third day, and then you'll be pretty much at the goal. Exercise brings cortisol level in a good range, because stress, that's what can drive cortisol up, or it can also decrease the cortisol. And cortisol, that's the hormone that's important to fight stress, but also is the hormone that weakens a person's immune system. So exercise is really a good way to balance cortisol levels, among other things. Exercise is great for cardiovascular health, for gastrointestinal, for digestive health. It's also very, very important for psychological health, because during exercise, endorphins are secreted, and those are happy substances that help you fight depression or anxiety. Adequate amount of sleep. It would be important to get at least 6 or 7 hours of sleep. Many patients need more than that, 8 hours, but at least 6 or 7. And also it's important to go to bed preferably before 11 p.m. because that's the most precious sleep when you go to bed 11. So the sleep from, let's say, 11 to 6 a.m. is not the same sleep as from 1 a.m. till 8 a.m. The sleep from when you go to bed around 11 before midnight, that's a much more effective sleep for your psychological health, for energy level, and just for the well-being. It is important to spend some time outside in the park, go outside of the city. If you can do it more often than not, that's great, but at least on the weekend, do try to get some fresh air, at least an hour, but the more the better. With the cold weather coming, it's important to stay warm and to dress up appropriately, but still do try to get outside and get some fresh air. A couple of supplements I want to talk about that's been shown in studies to be important for immune system. Vitamin D is the vitamin that a person can get from the sun, being in the sun, 20 minutes in the sun with 75% of the body exposed will get you an adequate daily amount of vitamin D. But there is no way to get vitamin D from the sun in the winter. And also for some people, it may be maybe contraindicated to be in the sun even for that amount of time. So the second best way to get your vitamin D in is to take a supplement. And the current recommended dosage of vitamin D is 25 to 35 IU, international units, per pound of weight. And vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin, so it's important to take it with food. Vitamin D has multiple benefits for the human body, but for the immune system, it's also helps you to fight viruses and other infections. In the studies, it's been shown that vitamin D helps with the COVID infection in 3 important ways. It prevents viral entry into the cell. It prevents viral replication while inside the cell. And also it protects your lungs and pulmonary system against viral invasion. And that's been shown in the lab that vitamin D does all that. And most people will need between 4 and 5,000 IU of vitamin D a day. There are variations to that, and if somebody is sick, a person may require more vitamin D. But generally, starting with between 4 and 5,000 IU a day would be a good amount. Vitamin C is another important vitamin. Vitamin C can be found in citruses and many fruits and vegetables. But it's also good to take 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C once or twice a day. Vitamin C is an antioxidant, is good for immune system. Also, if a person has sniffles or congestion for various reasons, allergies or food intolerances, vitamin C helps with all the phlegm. It kind of dries up the mucous membranes. Probiotics is important for immune system as well because it supports gastrointestinal health. And we know that gastrointestinal health is important for the immune system. It's optimal to get your probiotics from food, such as fermented foods, kombucha, kefir, sauerkraut, different pickled vegetables. But also, many people cannot tolerate fermented foods because it can cause bloatedness and some gastrointestinal upset. So you can combine taking fermented foods and drinks with a probiotic, or you can just find a good probiotic and take it. And probiotic has to be taken with a prebiotic, which is fiber. So it's good to take it with a meal, with the breakfast and lunch, or lunch and dinner. You can either do, if you feel well, you can take a probiotic once a day, just to keep the immune system and gastrointestinal health. But if there are any symptoms, then probiotics may be taken twice a day. There was a study conducted a few years ago, and it's been shown that probiotics, through optimizing gastrointestinal health, it's also good treatment for psychological complaints such as depression. They looked at 2 groups of people, and one group of people was taking probiotics. Another group of people were taking antidepressants, and people who took probiotic, they did very well in terms of the mood elevation and just feeling general state of happiness. But for that reason, if you decide to take probiotic to improve your psychological health, it has to be taken twice a day, because you take it once a day preventatively. But if you want to address any issues, gastrointestinal issues, immune system, with frequent colds or psychological, it's important to take a probiotic at least twice a day. Zinc has been shown to be beneficial for many viral infections, including COVID. Zinc protects cell integrity, and it's also important for immune system in some other ways. And generally, you want to take between 25 and 30 milligrams of zinc a day, and it can be taken with or without food. And I would like to talk about one particular herb that has multiple benefits. It's been shown to be good for COVID. I've definitely been taking it for the past year and a half every day. It has other multiple benefits. But angiographies before COVID, it's called angiographies. Before COVID, angiographies was recommended in people who have different pulmonary complaints, such as frequent bronchitis, frequent colds, which cause complications of a cough, tracheitis, anything that has to do with the pulmonary system, such as a cough, shortness of breath, bringing up phlegm. Angiographies as a treatment can be quite useful in those situations. But it's been also shown that angiographies can be taken preventatively. You can just take one capsule a day, and it will keep your airways healthy, lungs healthy, and also improve your immune system. So those are basic regimen for well-functioning immune system. Of course, some people who are at a high risk of catching a cold, or people who have allergies or acid reflux or other conditions which are at a high risk to developing complications from a cold, such as sinus infection, ear infection, bronchitis, I do recommend other measures for the immune protection, but that should be really looked at individually. But what I mentioned are very basic, simple lifestyle modifications, incorporating sports and being in the fresh air, keeping an eye on your diet, getting an adequate amount of sleep, and taking vitamin D, vitamin C, probiotics, zinc, and angiographies should really keep your immune system strong and healthy. And with that, you'll get additional benefits of psychological health, gastrointestinal health, skin health. It really has each vitamin I recommended really is good for the whole body. But I've concentrated on the immune system because that's the topic of our little video today. I do welcome your questions as always. You can either post your questions underneath the video, or you can reach out to me through the patient portal, call me, and if there are more topics come in, I will be happy to create more videos. But the next video in the series will be about weight management. Thank you for your attention. Bye-bye.